Hello survivors, Priam here with another video. Today we'll be discussing class choice and economy development. So in this game there are three classes: farmer, raider, and trader. Farmers make resources, raiders can steal money, and traders can make money. Ultimately it boils down to your playstyle. Raiders like to hunt, but eventually as the state gets older and the naps are implemented, a nap is a no attack policy, then the hunt becomes harder. Farmers and traders are good if you're in an alliance that's protected by a nap. That said, all classes can hunt and produce resources, but each class can do one thing better than the other. It's rock, paper, scissors. No single class is supreme. However, players in the late game recommend farmer until base level 19 before transitioning to raider for the final part of the game, where it's required to be a raider in order to advance any further. You can change your class several times throughout your progression. Basically, it happens every time you unlock a new tier unit. So at base level 5, you pick your first class, then you can change it again at base level 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, and 25. So as a farmer, you'll have access to your class building, which is a production center. This basically gives you 1 hour of resource production instantly every 12 hours. Farmers are expected to farm, so their buffs and debuffs are based on that. So you have improved speed and load when you harvest from resource plots in the world. A percentage of your resources is protected. Then there are debuffs. Your marching speed is slowed down and attack damage on other players is reduced. You'll also take more damage when you get attacked as well. Raiders have access to their class building, which is the trap house, which I mentioned in the last video as well. This gives might and resistance buffs to your class APC. As a raider, you're able to steal money from players. It's the only class that's able to do this. And you're also able to loot more, take less casualties, and heal faster. However, the debuff for raiders is you have a reduction in money and resource production, as well as reduced harvesting from gather points. Lastly, traders have access to their class building, which is the market. This lets you buy extra resources and allows you to send resources to alliance members. This is in addition to the commercial hub. As a trader, you'll be able to make money faster. And money is one of the hardest things to obtain in this game, even for raiders. Even though we can steal them, you have the ability to produce more of it faster. Also, the buy and sell prices are better at the commercial hub, so you can buy for less and sell for more. Troop upkeep is also reduced. However, you will suck in battle. You will lose more resources when attacked, and heal time is increased for wounded troops. As well, you won't have any protection resource like farmers do. Bottom line, every class has its place in this game. Farmers with their gather buffs should go out in full force on gather days for Clash of Zones, which will be covered in a separate video. Raiders will be the focal point of kill events, and traders can send resources to alliance members, and that's always helpful. But they will need to be bubbled during kill events because they are prime targets to hit because of their money. The thing with farmers and traders is they can go to sleep knowing that when they come back online, they have enough resources to upgrade, while raiders, who have a debuff for resource and money production, they have to come online, they don't have enough resources, and we have to go out and hunt before we can upgrade. Money and iron are the two hardest resources to obtain in this game. Farmers can produce iron, and traders can produce money. So that's their advantage over raiders who have to steal both. So it's not surprising to find farmers and traders progressing easier than raiders. Not necessarily faster, but easier, because you already produce the things inside your base, whereas raiders have to go out and hunt. So if raiders don't hunt, then they're going to progress slower, whereas it's more of a passive growth for farmers and traders. However, as I mentioned before, eventually by level 19, you will have to change to a trader to advance further in the game. Now that we've discussed the class choices, let's talk about economy development. So there are three important things to talk about here: your base production, the commercial hub, and gather points. In your base, once you've built all of the resource production buildings, you'll want to look into researching the tech associated with them. And by this, I mean the rapid production and city development. In rapid production, this allows you to overload, or also known as rapid mode. You basically speed up the production of that building, but it comes as a cost of durability, and sometimes it can fail, which causes that resource production building to catch fire, and then you have to repair it. But as you research down this tree here, you'll get to 100% strong polymerization here, and this guarantees that the first time you use rapid mode, it will be successful. This is also one of the one-time quests that you have to do as you progress through the base. One of them is it's just gonna force you have to upgrade this, so you eventually have to get through all of this to do that. So let's just see this in action. I left one of these available, the fuel. So you see oil well here. If you click rapid, this is the daily first, so it's 100% possibility it's gonna work. You start it, and then you generate fuel. I left it for all 4 of these, so I'll just do this now. And you'll notice as soon as you do it once, the durability is still the same, hasn't changed yet, but the success rate has dropped. So if I do it again now, success rate will drop again, and if it catches fire, the durability will also drop. So that time it worked, but you keep going, it's eventually not going to work. So now it's a 35% chance success rate. Still working. I don't know, I'm lucky today, right? 10% is too low to start another one. So let's, I just want to show it burning. So rapid production fail, it now catches fire. You'll notice the durability is now 80 out of 100. So now you have to repair it. After repairing it, durability goes back up, but the success rate is still low. So aside from your resource production buildings, you also have 2 other ways of making some side money. The first being the stereo, which is located in the bottom left-hand corner of your base. You can do it every so often. Just press a play, it's gonna animate, and then after like 10 seconds you get money. And also if you have the arm supply, it will double it. So that's $1,000 right there. Then also if you look around your base, from time to time there will be zombies walking around. You just click on them to kill them, and this gives you some resources. Next, I want to talk about the development heroes. So you'll recall from the first video where I went over the menu navigation, the hero menu option, there's a develop tab. This shows you all of the development heroes that you have and you can get for your base. Obviously all the orange heroes are the best. Then there are purple heroes for production, and then blue and green are pretty much crap. Ideally you want to get all the orange and all the purple. However, the focus is different depending on what you are, farmer, trader, or raider. For myself as a raider, going to the management station here, as a raider I only focused on money production, hospitals, training camps, the building production, and the commercial hub. Farmers will want to focus more on production, so the 5 purple heroes, you get one of them, the girl, the pioneer, for food production at the beginning of the game. So they will be here ideally. You'll want all of them, the oil, iron, fuel, lumber, and food. And then obviously you can add on additional ones like the ones for the bank, the hospital one, and maybe commercial hub. The trader for sure will want the commercial hub because that's part of your income. So all of these development heroes, they all have passive and active skills. So for example, my resistance leader here, he gains XP every time he makes money, which is fine. You can increase money production per hour. You can get a certain amount of money per day, and then improve the bank. So to use his skill, you just go to the building in question, so in this case the banks, and then skill, and then here's the resistance leader, just use, and then use. So I get money and some XP. So that's it for development heroes. Commercial hub, as mentioned previously, you buy and sell resources here. It comes every 2 hours for me. It might be different for you based on the hero station there and other factors. You can also call it free once a day. In general, people usually sell water because water is useless. It's only used in the ration truck to give water to your population. Otherwise, it's not used for upgrading buildings at all. So people usually just sell water. Early game, mid game, late game, people sell water. Eventually you run out of water to sell, then you sell the excess amount. Raiders should be selling every single time the helicopter lands because it's hard for us to get money. And this is an easy way to trade resources we don't need for money. So before we go out to the state, I just want to look at technology again once more for city development. So the top part of city development are the techs that you can research for your own production. So this increases food income, fuel income, and so on. This is money income. So this is inside the base. Then these things are for the outside of the base. This is for gathering food, gathering lumber, gathering oil, gathering iron, gathering diamonds, etc. So this is for when we go out to the state. So going to the state map now. So that's for lumber, food, fuel, and iron. So what you want to do when you're going to these gather points is use an APC full of vehicles, because they will have a higher load than your fighters and shooters. They're also going to be faster as far as march speed is concerned. They don't gather faster. The gathering speed is based on your tech research, as I just mentioned previously. You can also research load improvement in both your APC and the vehicles. This will improve how much load you can hold, so therefore you can stay at the gather point longer before having to return, because once the load fills up, you will automatically return to your base. So for this, you can go to either the class APC or whatever APC you're researching. There's load improvement right here. This one is load improvement there. And then in vehicle training, load improvement is here as well. So there's two places for it. Then the only difference between, let's say, a level 7 gather point and a level 2 would be the amount of resources that that plot has. So this is a brand new one. This is a level 7 food. This is 1.2 million compared to, let's see if I can find another food. Compared to a level 6 here, which is only 800,000. So the level only affects how many resources are there for you to gather. Additionally, if you research the Alliance Tech resources, personal resource station, then you're able to build resource plots yourself. So in Alliance, this is these two things here. So this is personal resource station level. So this is the level of the ones that you can build. And this is how many you can build. Generally, the closer to the center of the map, the higher the resource plot will be. So to build a resource plot, this is in the state view. You go to build. Notice build is still here. It's just like it is in the base. But when you click build here, everything else is grayed out except for resource. And then once you click resource, you can build your own resource plot. So I'm gonna need fuel. I don't think I'm actually gonna use this, but you can build it like this right here, and it will consume stone blocks, which you can buy from the Alliance store. So the stone blocks is this item right here, bunch of rocks. So when you buy this, it's 1,000 stones, and each resource plot needs 50. So for each time you buy this, you can build 20 of them. Now that we're outside, you can also attack zombies, Wendells, and rebel camps. And when you're attacking these, you'll want to research basic combat tech. So going back to your base, we're looking at this one, basic combat. At the bottom here, it will give you novice zombie might and resistance, then intermediate zombie might and resistance, and advanced zombie might and resistance. This increases the might and resistance when you fight zombies. So you're going to want to max this out as soon as possible. So combat will be covered later, but just a general note, when attacking zombies, your troops don't die, they only get wounded. So there are 4 different types of zombies. Ancient will give you lumber, plague will give you food, mutant will give you iron, shuffling zombies will give you fuel, and rebel camps will give you money. Rebel camps are not worth it. It's not worth it. The amount of money a rebel camp gives you, don't bother with rebel camps. Also, I forgot to show this earlier, but you can also find diamond in the wild, so you can farm diamonds. They are out there. I don't recommend this because this is extremely slow and not worth the effort. You're better off spending your efforts working on quests to get diamonds, but that's for a later video. With zombies in general, you want to find your sweet spot with the amount of power of your APC versus some lower level zombie. And there's going to be some point where you can attack them and you won't get wounded at all, so you can just keep attacking them, and then you'll effectively farm zombies. However, higher level zombies will give you more hero experience, and that's needed to level up the heroes to unlock the later skills, which is important in the late game. Lastly, I mentioned having excess resources in the base. Aside from selling them to the commercial hub, you can effectively trade them when you attack zombies. So let's say, for example, I had excess food, but I'm low on iron, which is not the case right now, but let's say that was the case. Then I would attack a mutant zombie, which gives iron, with fighters, which cost food to heal. So I'm basically gaining iron from the mutant zombie, and then I'm paying the food, which I have excess of, to heal the fighters. So that's how you would trade that. And lastly are Wendells. There are 4 levels of Wendells, level 1, 5, 10, and 15, and they require a minimum of 3 people in the rally, otherwise it will fail. Also, the Alliance members who join your rally must reach your base before the rally starts, otherwise it will fail as well. So just a quick note here, you have to upgrade your headquarters in order to allow for rallying members. And it has to be minimum level 4 so that you can have 2 rally troops plus yourself is 3. But as I mentioned in the previous video, you want to get it up to 12 as soon as possible. That way you can have 4 rally members with you. Generally speaking, you need tier 6 troops to take on a Wendell. If you don't have tier 6, it'll just take more numbers. So let me just find a Wendell here. There's a level 1 Wendell right there. In the description it says power marching army achieves 1,000. That's false advertising. You need much more than that. You need basically around approximately 5,000 troops to hit a level 1 Wendell. 65,000 troops for level 5, 150,000 troops for level 10, and 300,000 troops for level 15 Wendells. Now there are 2 ways to farm Wendells. You can lose purposely, or you can win. Most people just attack it once with the right amount of people, and they just win the first go, and that's it. That's all they care about. However, the alternative method is you can also lose purposely and farm money, because when you deal damage to a Wendell, you get money for that damage based on the percentage. So you could repeatedly just hit different Wendells as opposed to the same one. If you hit the same one multiple times, you'll eventually kill it. But let's say you just hit 5 level 10 Wendells and you don't kill them each time, you just get money for doing damage to it. Granted, you are again trading resources here because you need to heal your troops with whatever resource based on the troops that you used to trade for the money gained from the damage on the Wendell. So it's up to you. You have to do the math to figure out what works for you. This is great if you're in a pinch for some money, though. I do it sometimes. Lastly, you can only attack and win against a Wendell once per day. And that's once per game day between the start of the day to literally the last minute of the day. And it will reset as soon as the clock hits 0. And I've tested this already, where we basically hit a Wendell at 11:58 p.m. game time, and then the clock resets at 00, 2 minutes later, and then we had to hit a bigger one multiple times, and by 15 minutes into the new day, we hit the second Wendell and we won that one as well. So I won 2 in the span of 20 minutes. So let's say you forget to log in at the beginning of the day, which is when most people do the Wendells, and you're busy or whatever happens, you log in later in the day, you can do that. You can hit it twice in a row. Just make sure your alliance members are online to help you out. And that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.